What's up everyone? I'm Puria. I'm a real estate agent here in Pasadena, California, and I want to give you guys today a guide on the process of buying a home. If you're getting started on trying to look for a house to buy, you probably have some questions about where to start, what to do. A lot of people start looking at houses online and they immediately contact the selling agent, the person who has listed the home for sale. And you can definitely do that, but the best way to go about starting your search for a new home, number one thing is to hire a buyer's agent. Having a buyer's agent is very important, and I'll go into detail about why you need to have a buyer's agent when you're buying a home in another video, but all you need to know is that the person who is selling the home has the best interest of the seller in mind. So how can they possibly have your best interest in mind as well? What you have with a buyer's agent is somebody who's solely representing you in the transaction, and they'll be able to make sure that your best interests are represented. They'll be able to negotiate for you, and they'll be able to take care of all the paperwork for you and take care of all the more difficult aspects of getting you into your new house for you and help you step by step throughout that process. So the number one step in getting started and looking for a new home is to hire a buyer's agent, and I would definitely recommend interviewing at least 3 different agents. What you're looking for is somebody who's professional, who knows what they're talking about, and most importantly, somebody that you feel comfortable with and that you can trust, because it's going to be a long process, it's going to be an emotional process, and you're going to want somebody on your side that you know is gonna have your best interest in mind, and that you're gonna enjoy being around, because there's chances are you're gonna be spending a lot of time together looking at homes, going through contracts and all that stuff. So number one is to hire a good buyer's agent. The next step, step number 2, is to get you pre-approved. We want to make sure that you know exactly how much you can afford, how much you can put down, how much monthly payments you can make. If you're buying a condo, you have to take into account the homeowners association fees, the taxes, and so you want to be able to have all that information available to you before you even start looking at homes, because once you actually get into the process of looking at houses, you might see something that you really want, but you can't put an offer yet because there's no proof that you can actually afford it. And finding a lender is another part of the process, and you have to find somebody who will get you the best financing, and here's where you have to do your research. As it happens right now, interest rates are super low, and there's never been a better time to invest in real estate. If there's ever been a perfect time to buy real estate, to buy a new home, to buy investment property, income property, it is now. The third step would be to sit down with your agent, talk about what kind of homes you're looking for, talk about all your needs, your requirements, and they'll be able to compile a list of homes for you that you can pick and choose based on the photos or the information that is provided to you, and you can decide sort of what area you're looking for, what price range, and all of that good stuff. From there, the next step is to choose which properties you actually want to go and look at. Your agent will be able to schedule viewings for you. He or she will take you to the home. You'll be able to see it. You'll be able to, see it in person, see whether or not you like the space, you like the neighborhood. And that's really important too. You really gotta, if it's a neighborhood you're not familiar with, you really have to actually go there to be able to feel the vibe and see if it's a place you want to live. So after you view the properties, you pick one you like. You may not see one you like, so you keep searching. You keep going back to the MLS, the multi-listing service. You come up with new listings that you like. You go see them until you find one that you really like and you want to put down an offer. So the next step is putting down the offer, is writing the offer, and that's where, again, having an agent is incredibly crucial, because there's so many things, so many little moving parts in the process of writing an offer that the buyer's agent has total knowledge of, and you can rely on them to, again, do what's in your best interest and help you through the process. You want to make sure that you include everything that you want to come with the house once you buy it in the offer, and at that point, Once the offer is submitted, you go back and forth negotiating with as far as the price, as far as the terms of the escrow, which companies you want to be working with. You basically are gonna hash out all the details once you go into contract. But you want to have all that stuff already figured out before you enter the contract, before you enter escrows, to make sure everything goes smoothly. Once you've negotiated all the terms, once you know exactly what you want, the seller's happy, you're happy, you want to move forward, you sign the purchase agreement. And once you sign the purchase agreement, you're entering into a contract, and you will also usually be required to put down a good faith deposit, just so the seller knows you're serious, basically. Once the purchase agreement is signed, you're entering into a contract, and that's when escrow starts. That's where things really heat up. That's when the action is starting. You want to go through getting rid of all the contingencies, and there's a lot of things that you have to do here, and you have to make sure you're on schedule. And again, and that's another area where your agent can help you. They can give you a checklist of everything you need to do and help you through the process. Now, during the escrow period also is a time that you want to obtain title insurance, which is really important. You're going to want to order your appraisal to know exactly how much is the house appraises for the sake of the loan. And you want to get all the insurance, the homeowner's insurance and the warranties in place so that you're safe and sound going forward. Next, you apply for the loan. You already have your pre-approval at this point. You know exactly how much you can afford, but now is the time when you actually apply to get the funds. Then you want to sign the escrow instructions. The escrow instructions basically tell the buyer and the seller and everybody involved who gets what at what point to make sure that everything goes smoothly. Next, you want to review the seller's disclosures. The seller is going to give you a list of all the things about the house that they know that legally they're supposed to tell you. They're going to tell you everything that comes with the property, everything that they want to keep with them. And that's when, another level of transparency to make sure everybody's on the same page, everybody knows exactly what they're getting. At this point, the next thing you want to do is conduct your own inspections. And sometimes the sellers will have their own inspection report for you, but I would highly recommend getting your own inspection because you want to cover as many bases as possible. Getting an inspection does not cost that much, a couple $100s, which in the grand scheme of things, it could save you a lot of trouble, a lot of hassle. It's always better to be safe than sorry. So I always recommend getting an inspection from the buyer's side to make sure that the information you're getting is as accurate as you want it to be, and that you're responsible for the information that is provided to you, as opposed to getting it from the seller side, who obviously have different interests in their mind than yours. So after you get the inspections done, you want to review the reports. You want to again sit down with an expert to make sure that everything that's in the report is understandable. You know exactly what problems are where and how much they're going to cost to get fixed. This is where you decide sort of what you want to request for the seller to fix, or what you think you might be able to fix yourself, and you don't want to put a cloud on the deal just because of little problems here and there. If it's a huge problem, then you discuss your courses of action with your agent at that point. And the next step is to let the seller know about everything that you would require for them to repair, and this is where you submit a request for repairs. And if there's no repairs that you want them to do, you just skip this step and you keep going. Everything's good, everything's gravy. If it's a condominium and you have association dues, you're going to want to review those documents to make sure everything's good, and you want to sign them. And at this point, you want to make sure that you have the loan approval, that you have the funds available to you, because you're getting towards the closing stages of the escrow, and you want to make sure that once everything's ready to go, that you have the funds available to you, ready to go, ready to be transferred to everybody, to the seller, whoever the parties involved in the escrow are. And once that's good to go, once you have the loan approval, you want to make sure all the contingencies are removed. You remove your contingencies on your end, You want to make sure the seller removes all the contingencies on their end. And now you're getting ready for the closing. You're getting ready for the purchase of your new home. And this is where it's important to actually start packing. If it's a place that you're actually going to be moving into immediately. If you don't necessarily have that immediate need to move, then you know, packing is not the biggest problem, but it's something that you have to keep in mind so that in terms of scheduling, you don't fall behind. And you want to schedule the movers, you want to schedule everything, the cars, whatever you need to get you from your old place to your new place, and you want to make sure all that stuff is in line. And next, you follow the final walkthrough, you conduct your final inspection, and this is another area where your agent will help you. And you want to make sure, again, the house that you're getting is exactly what you agreed upon in the contract, and everything is in place to where they're supposed to be. Once everything is good to go and you're happy with everything, with the house, and you're ready to move in, you transfer the closing costs to escrow. You sign the loan documents, which means that the funds are going to be transferred, and you are ready to move into your new home. And it can be a really exciting time. It can be really nerve-wracking. You know, for majority of people, buying a home, buying a house is the most expensive investment that they make in their life. So you want to make sure you get the right one. You want to make sure everything goes smoothly, and again, that's why you want to make sure you have the right people on your side and working for you. And that's it. That's the buyer's checklist. That's everything, all the steps in the process that you have to go through to buy your new home. If you're a first-time home buyer, it's really important to have an idea of exactly what you're getting into before you do it. And like I said, with every step of the process, you have to make sure that you hire the right people, you have the right people by your side, people who are going to represent your best interest and get you the best deal that you can get. And this is an area where service is really important as well. And I know you might think, oh, he's saying it because he's a real estate agent, but there's nothing more important, again, with a huge investment like this, buying a home, than being able to have an expert by your side every step of the way. And that's something that you really can only get with a real estate agent. It's not something that online services can provide for you. It's not something that you can get through Zillow or Redfin. It is genuinely in the best interest of anybody who's trying to invest in property to work with a buyer's agent. And that's it for this video. If you have any questions, any comments, I'll be more than happy to answer. You can reach me by leaving a comment right here, or you can call me or text me at my phone number or my email, and I'll get back to you very, very quickly. Thanks for watching. I hope the information's been useful, and I will see you next time. I will see you next time. You want to get the You want to get the You want to resolve. This is the point where you open escrow.